Police in the U.S. state of Connecticut say a shooting at an elementary school has left at least 26 people dead. They say 20 victims are children. President Obama offered words of comfort to grieving families.
Some 400 children, kindergartners to fourth graders, went to Sandy Hook Elementary School today to learn and play. 20 would die. Police say the first call for help came just after 9:30 a.m.
I was in the gym and I heard I heard like 7 loud booms, and the gym teachers told us to go in the corner. So we all huddled, and I kept hearing these booming noises, and we all started, we didn't scream, we started crying. So all the gym teachers told us to go into the office where no one could find us.
Miss Martin just closed the door and we went to the corner.
How many shots did you hear?
Lots.
Police rushed to the school and entered immediately.
They did search every nook and cranny, every room, and every portion of that school.
At 9:40, a reverse 911 call went out to parents.
Due to reports of a shooting, as yet unconfirmed, the district is taking preventative measures by putting all schools in lockdown until we ensure safety of all students and staff. Thank you.
This young man ran to find his sister, a student at Sandy Hook.
I saw 3 injured children, all 3 of them female, and one of them was very bloody, had a very bloody face, and then 2 other ones were carried out by a state trooper.
Inside the school, police found the shooter dead. Police say they never fired a shot. Many of the shooter's victims, the youngest children in the school.
The shootings did take place in one section of the school in 2 rooms.
Along with the children, 6 adults were also killed. Frantic parents swarmed the firehouse where the uninjured children were taken. Nearby Danbury Hospital prepared for the worst.
We activated 4 separate trauma teams. We had 80 people waiting in the emergency room. They were mobilized within 10 minutes.
Only 3 people were taken to the hospital. In this neighborhood in Newtown, police say another person was found dead at a second crime scene.
And the assurance of my
Just weeks away from Christmas, Newtown has witnessed unimaginable scenes. As they try to comfort each other, residents are asking how their town will ever recover.
As the sun set on another tragic day for America, a crowd of 200 people formed outside the White House. Inside the building, President Obama's spokesman had said today was not the day for a debate on the country's gun laws. But these protesters insisted that it was exactly the right time.
Every day in this country, we lose 86 heroes, 86 families, 86 kids. Lose somebody they deeply love and care about. Now imagine yourself being one of those people. Right? We're losing those heroes. Today is the day.
The Connecticut authorities dealing with the latest shooting know their state already has some of the toughest gun laws in the country and the 5th lowest rate of gun deaths. But laws can't solve everything. Early reports suggest the weapons used in the Newtown shooting were legally purchased and registered to the gunman's mother, though that hasn't been confirmed. The worst mass shooting of recent years was at the campus of Virginia Tech in 2007. 33 were killed, including the gunman, a 23-year-old student. At Luby's cafeteria in Texas in 1991, 24 were shot, including the gunman. In 1984, at a McDonald's restaurant in California, 22 people were killed, including the gunman, a security guard. And at the University of Texas in 1966, 17 were killed, including the gunman, a former Marine sniper. In 1999, at the notorious Columbine High School massacre, 19 were shot dead, including 2 gunmen, both teenagers. And earlier this year, at a movie theater in Colorado, 12 were shot dead during the Batman movie The Dark Knight Rises. The alleged gunman is in custody awaiting trial. Despite these killings, opinion polls suggest Americans are divided equally on gun laws. Some see controls on gun ownership as an invitation to commit crime.
Outside the St Rose Catholic Church in Newtown, thousands stood in near silence, still in deep shock. A spontaneous service was called in memory of the victims and to help people comfort each other. A small community turning to its collective faith as residents struggle to understand what happened.
I used to babysit for him, so I know him very well. He was a very sweet, bright young man.
Oh, horrible. Just horrible. It's unspeakably violent, just unspeakably horrible.
We heard about it in history at the Caliban, and we heard about Virginia Tech, and we never thought it'd happen here, so close to home.
Some of the people who were at this church service knew the victims and the parents of the children who were killed. Some people don't know anyone involved but wanted to turn up and show their solidarity and support. It seemed the only thing left to do after a day of unimaginable horror. Police were called to Sandy Hook Elementary School after a 20-year-old man walked in, pulled a ski mask over his face and started shooting. By the time he was done, 20 children were dead or dying. 6 teachers and school workers were killed. Police led some children to safety. They were told to hold hands, keep your eyes shut. In Newtown, as across the United States, the right to bear arms is hugely divisive.
You can put all the guns away as far as I'm concerned. I don't give a... Yeah, it's ridiculous. I hope finally maybe this will do something to maybe start the conversation again.
I'm an avid shooter, and I mean, I believe that everyone should have a gun, at least, just for self-protection. I mean, I don't think they should change at all.
Families torn apart, a town grieving its own, a nation in mourning. Even for a country all too familiar with gun-related violence, the loss of so many young lives has left many lost for words.
I saw some of the bullets going past the hall that I was right next to, and then a teacher pulled me into her classroom.
He said he heard a sound like someone kicking a door. His mother, clinging to him, had words of thanks.
I'm just so grateful to the teacher who saved him.
Okay, thank you. The teacher, you think the teacher saved his life?
She definitely did. He had bullets going by him, and she grabbed him and another child and pulled them into a classroom.
Brendan Murray, a 4th grader, described the chaos.
I was in the gym at the time, and so the teachers, we heard like lots of bangs, and we thought that it was the custodian knocking stuff down. We heard screaming, and so we went onto, like, we went to the wall, and we sat down, and then a police came in. It's like, is he in here? Then he ran out. And then our teachers, then somebody yelled, get to a safe place. So we went to the closet in the gym, and we sat there for a little while. And then the police, like, were knocking on the door, and they're like, we're evacuating people, we're evacuating people.
So all these parents were waiting for their children to come out. They thought that they were, you know, still alive. There's 20 parents that were just told that their children are dead. It was awful.
The father of a young girl who survived was just trying to process it all.
It was shocking. I got the call at work this morning, and I can't believe a small town like this would ever have anything like this happen. And to be in an elementary school, that's unheard of.
By late Friday afternoon and into the evening, evacuated children were being cared for and reuniting with their parents at a nearby firehouse.
Evil visited this community today, and it's too early to speak of recovery, but each parent, each sibling, each member of the family has to understand that Connecticut, we're all in this together. We'll do whatever we can to overcome this event. We will get through it, but this is a terrible time for this community and for these families.
I don't know how he came in, because every time you go in, you have to ring a bell, and they can see you from the office, and they know who you are, and they let you in. So I don't know if it's somebody they knew.
There's no words that I could come up with that would even come close to describing the sheer terror of hearing that your son is in a place, or your child is in a place, where there's been violence.
Reports say the gunman was a 20-year-old male with links to the school. President Obama phones the FBI director and the governor of Connecticut to express his condolences and promised federal support in the investigation.
I spoke with Governor Malloy and FBI Director Mueller. I offered Governor Malloy my condolences on behalf of the nation and made it clear he will have every single resource that he needs to investigate this heinous crime, care for the victims, counsel their families. We've endured too many of these tragedies in the past few years, and each time I learn the news, I react not as a president, but as anybody else would, as a parent. And that was especially true today. I know there's not a parent in America who doesn't feel the same overwhelming grief that I do. The majority of those who died today were children. Beautiful little kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old. They had their entire lives ahead of them. Birthdays, graduations, weddings, kids of their own. Among the fallen were also teachers, men and women who devoted their lives to helping our children fulfill their dreams. So our hearts are broken today for the parents and grandparents, sisters and brothers of these little children, and for the families of the adults who were lost. Our hearts are broken for the parents of the survivors as well. For as blessed as they are to have their children home tonight, they know that their children's innocence has been torn away from them too early, and there are no words that will ease their pain. As a country, we have been through this too many times. Whether it's an elementary school in Newton, or a shopping mall in Oregon, or a temple in Wisconsin, or a movie theater in Aurora, or a street corner in Chicago, these neighborhoods are our neighborhoods, and these children are our children. And we're going to have to come together and take meaningful action to prevent more tragedies like this, regardless of the politics. This evening, Michelle and I will do what I know every parent in America will do, which is hug our children a little tighter, and we'll tell them that we love them, and we'll remind each other how deeply we love one another. But there are families in Connecticut who cannot do that tonight, and they need all of us right now. In the hard days to come, that community needs us to be at our best as Americans, and I will do everything in my power as president to help. Because while nothing can fill the space of a lost child or loved one, all of us can extend a hand to those in need, to remind them that we are there for them, that we are praying for them, that the love they felt for those they lost endures not just in their memories, but also in ours. May God bless the memory of the victims. And in the words of Scripture, heal the brokenhearted and bind up their wounds.